behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Paul Mash TV. Paul Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode. This is episode 950, as you can tell, and before you know, we'll be at episode 1000, and we can't believe that we've lasted this long, and we're going to keep doing more episodes for you, and I hope you'll stay tuned. And right now, if you like what you see, you can always hit that subscribe button and the bell, and also leave a comment on the comment section if you like. And go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/PaulMashTV. And you can follow us there, comment on all the things you see. You can send us an inbox. And if you'd like to email us as well, you can. It's PaulMashTV, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist that want to be on the show, send us an email and we'll get back to you. And also, we love fan mail as well. So if you're just simply a fan and want to reach out to us, go ahead and do that. We'll contact you. And all this is going to be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Nashville, Tennessee today, we have Ridge Banks. He's a very awesome artist, and I think you'll see why when we get done with the interview and play the song for you. So without further ado, let's start the show, and it starts right now. All right, here's the interview as promised, and with us from Nashville, Tennessee, we have Ridge Banks with us today. Thanks for joining us, Ridge.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that you can make it here today. So how did it all start for you as far as being an artist? I mean, I'm sure you always wanted to be an artist. Maybe you fell into it accidentally. I mean, there's different stories, So,
Oh, absolutely. I've been playing guitar. I remember trying to learn the picking styles of Jim Croce and John Denver when I was a kid. Really small. I had a really musical family, so I had musical instruments around me. And so I kind of picked up everything by ear and fell in love with the guitar and the acoustic guitar and started playing for neighbors around the block with big foam cowboy hat, and then life gets in the way. I always knew I wanted to be on stage, but I didn't see the path to it. So I went to college and went into healthcare for a while, and the calling just became too great to ignore. And I really knew that I had to be on stage. So when I had a transition in my job, I moved about 4.5 years ago to Nashville to do this full time.
Mm. Well, that's great. Hopefully, you'll have many years ahead of you. So,
yeah, hopefully so.
I know, as you mentioned, John Denver. He was probably someone you idolized and helped influence you in your career. Were there any others?
Absolutely, Jim Croce was one of the biggest for me. I really loved the way he picked, and as I moved along, I moved into blues a little bit. So I really got into Eric Clapton, and I like Joe Bonamassa. And I just took little parts of their show and their music. A lot of times when I'm writing my own music, it's because there's some song that I love that one of my heroes does. And I find out something about that song that I really love. And I try to build a song around that, or I try to just, say, I want one of those. And a lot of times that sparks what I'm doing. So I even like the percussive rhythmic pulses of like Ed Sheeran. And so Dave Matthews was a really big influence for me with his different tunings and stuff like that. Stephen Stills as well was a big influence on me, especially when he played alone. There's a lot of, so I thought that was all a great idea, but now sometimes if I want to do a full show, I need to bring 3 or 4 guitars with me because they're all in different tunings, and nobody wants to hear that on stage.
Right. Yeah. And of course, he was good when he was with Crosby and Nash as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love harmonies. I've always loved harmonies. My uncle was in a bluegrass band, so that was kind of my first music that I had really fallen in love with. I think the bass jug was my first instrument.
Yeah, and of course you mentioned Jim Croce, he was really good, and
Hmm.
I've always loved his stuff growing up. And well, everybody out there might be watching this, and right after that music video we're about to show, they might want to go out there and get some of your other stuff. And they might want to
Yeah.
follow you on social media. Where can we find you on streaming and as well as
Abs-
social media?
Absolutely. I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also on Spotify, and actually any place that you stream music, you should be able to find my music. My first album came out in 2017, 18, and now I just released our single, "The Beautiful Mistake," and I'm probably going to release music every 3 to 4 months for the next year or two. I'm hoping, at least.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody go to your favorite streaming platform and all your social media platforms and find Ridge Debs, and I know he would love you for that. And
So Rich, so I also have a website that's ridgebanksmusic.com. You can even go to ridgebanks.com, and that kind of has everything there, including my tour and where I'm playing. If I'm playing somewhere close to you, check it out.
okay, well, yeah, check out that concert list, and I know he at the local area near you, and I know he would love you for that too. So and we're gonna watch this song. He just mentioned it, actually, "Beautiful Mistake." It's a real good song. Is there a story behind that, or is it kind of self-explanatory? Or
Well, no, it was one of my favorite experiences here in Nashville. I was playing at a guitar pull, actually at a blues place, and a gentleman came up to me and said, "I really like your music," and I gave him a CD, and a couple days later, he called me and introduced himself as Roy August, who is the number one hit songwriter for um, the Oak Ridge Boys. He co-wrote "Feeling Fancy Free," which is their first number one hit. And we sat and talked about, man, all his experiences for about 2 hours. And at the end of that conversation, I said, "Oh, you mean like a beautiful mistake?" And he said, "That's it. That's the song. I've got it all in my head." So he wrote the whole song that night and sent it to me. I changed a few lyrics here and there, and I came up with the melody the next day. And so I sent it to him, and we didn't do a whole lot more to it after that. I guess the most of that song was written before we even started. And it's funny because one of my friends told me that that's what the Nashville experience is. That's how it happens sometimes. And he almost described it, step by step, and then it actually happened. So it was pretty cool. And we released that song at the Commodore Grill in January, the end of January 30th, and it was on Roy August's 80th birthday. So it was a really super special night.
Okay, well, I really like the song, and I know everyone else out there will too, and we'll get to that in a second. But Ridge, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
We would love to have you back on sometime if you have anything new to plug by that time.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Here's Ridge Banks with "Beautiful Mistake," and it starts right now.
Became hypnotized by a smiling name, sparkle in her eyes and perfect frame. Was a right girl to give my heart a shake, 'cause I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Got love crazy going all in. Now I am heartbroken, I've tried to mend. Misread her actions, her love was fake. When I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Sometimes I believe mistakes were made for me. My judgment error, pretty as can be. Losing your love is all with a beautiful mistake. Got love crazy, going all in. I am all broken, trying to mend. Misread her actions, her love was fake. When I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Everything on the line. Beautiful mistake. Faults all mine. Gamble on a feeling. I knew the stakes when I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Blinded by a dream, slipping away. It all went south at the end